Hi, everyone. It's good to see you again. I'm Anne-Marie Green.
And I'm Vladimir Jutsic. Thanks for joining us. Boris Johnson has been selected to be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He won the race to lead Britain's Conservative Tory party. That means he'll almost certainly replace Theresa May as head of government. She announced her resignation earlier this year over failed Brexit negotiations.
President Trump tweeted out congratulations, saying Johnson will be great. The new Tory leader spoke earlier, and he vowed to get Brexit done by October 31st, with or without a deal.
We are going to energise the country. We're going to get Brexit done on October the 31st. We're going to take advantage of all the opportunities that it will bring in a new spirit of can-do. And we are once again going to believe in ourselves and what we can achieve. And like some slumbering giant, we are going to rise and ping off the guy ropes of self-doubt and negativity. With better education, better infrastructure, more police, fantastic full fibre broadband sprouting in every household, we are going to unite this amazing country.
So CBS News foreign correspondent Charlie D'Agata is following the latest from London and joins us now. So Charlie, for people who may not be familiar with Boris Johnson, though you might have witnessed some of his antics when he was the mayor of London, can you tell us a little bit more about him?
Well, former mayor, former foreign secretary, so he has been out there. Certainly he's a huge figure here in terms of his personality, his bombast. You can see how articulate he was. I mean, essentially it was a pep rally there. He's got a lot of challenges ahead. The first challenge that he's got is to unite his own party and, to a larger extent, unite the government. What we have to point out here is it's a quirk of British politics that less than 1% of the electorate here was even involved in this vote. So it was only members of the Conservative Party, sort of card-carrying members of the Conservative Party, that had a say in this vote. He won by a landslide 2-1, but it's not exactly like we get the whole country behind him. And importantly, some of the top ministers who are in the current government, this Tory Conservative government, had said that they're going to resign the moment that he officially takes office, which takes place tomorrow. So he's a colorful character. He rules through sort of chaos and charisma and bombast. Extremely articulate, charming. That might help with relationships in the United States and in Europe. But more than anything, he's got a lot of pressure here at home. He's going to get a lot of people on side to move forward with some of the challenges that are going to be presented to him.
All right, so Charlie, here's a question. Same party, different leader. How will he handle Brexit differently than Theresa May?
Well, you know, if you put them, Vlad, side by side, you're looking at two completely different characters. Now, the opposition, the people that aren't very happy with Boris Johnson being the prime minister, will say he's out of control, he's unpredictable, he says statements that perhaps he shouldn't be saying. A lot of comparisons have been made to President Trump in that regard. And then you've got Theresa May, who is in many ways the opposite. Very controlled, understated, careful about what she does. And there are those in Boris Johnson's camp who are saying this is what we need right now. We need a charismatic leader, because there are a lot of negotiations that are taking place in Europe where you're going to have to get these personal relationships on side. As he said, he is determined to push Brexit through by Halloween, by October 31st, with or without a deal. That's what many people here, the Brexiteers, are not only expecting, they're demanding. So they're saying, yes, he's got his faults, but he might be the right man for the right time, in addition to the relationship that he has with the United States, which he has said in the past and repeatedly is very important.
So he may have been chosen for, the last two things that you pointed out, but as prime minister, he's going to have to handle a lot more than that. More specifically, what's happening right now, he's going to have to deal with the tensions with Iran over the seized British oil tanker in the Gulf, as well as questions over the nuclear deal. What kind of policy and strategy can we expect to see from him?
Well, exactly. Now you've got a person who's got to hit the ground running. So he's got at least two crises that he's dealing with at the moment. Importantly, the man that he defeated for this position, Jeremy Hunt, Foreign Secretary. You can hear the pro and anti-Brexit.
I thought that was the town crier.
Never know what to expect here at College Green in front of Westminster. Anyway, so yes, he's got these two immediate situations that he's got to deal with. But again, if you're a proponent of Boris Johnson, you're looking at the person who's confident. He states what he wants to do, and he's going to try to get the people around him. The biggest crisis is that many political advisors and observers have seen here is that he's got to get that cabinet together as soon as possible. When you get your top ministers resigning because you don't believe in the prime minister before your day one on the job, he's got to shore up his government, he's got to shore up his party, and then he's got to move forward. Those are the immediate challenges. Then you start dealing with what's going on with this British tanker in Iranian hands in the Gulf, what Jeremy Hunt, the foreign secretary, is going to do with that, what the relationship is now with the United States, because both the British and the Americans have boosted their military presence in that region. He's got a lot to do, and he's got to do it right away.
Pull a party together, hire some members of his cabinet, because people are already threatening to walk out if some haven't already.
Yeah, and Charlie, real quick before we go, I mean, I watched a really fascinating interview with Boris Johnson in the BBC. I believe it was with Andrew Neil, and he sort of pushed him on whether or not he has been critical of President Trump in the past. In other words, when the president has said bombastic things, whether it's related to NATO or Theresa May, Boris Johnson was seen as cuddling to President Trump, and he sort of pushed back on that. What kind of a relationship do you expect?
Well, you know, Boris Johnson, as they say here, he's not backward in coming forward. He expresses his opinion. He says it on television. He will say it in a tweet. He has been deeply critical of President Trump in the past. When he was the mayor here and President Trump said that there were no-go areas in London, he said that was a mark of stupefying ignorance, and he said that he wasn't capable of holding the office of president. Well, he's softened his tone slightly since then. And if you remember, just a few weeks ago, when the British ambassador, when those leaks came out, the British ambassador to the United States was kicked out, and there were some scathing tweets against that ambassador. You would have expected the prime minister to maybe express opinion. He was very quiet about that. And that suggests that he's thinking, as they said here, they threw the ambassador under the bus. That suggests that he's thinking, well, his position was untenable at that point because of the criticism that had come out and been made public, and now he was kowtowing to the White House. But again, he has said and repeatedly continues to say that the relationship with the United States, with this president, with this administration, is extremely important going forward to the British government.
All right, Charlie D'Agata, thank you.
Thank you.